Hello everyone, and thank you for clicking on my video. My name is Mike.Weinberg with Gateway-Acentria Insurance. We're part of the Acentria group of companies with over 20 offices in Florida and writing insurance all over the country. When it comes to commercial property, very few people have our volume or expertise. We insure over 400,000 apartment and condo units, and we insure over $30 billion of commercial property insurance. So today's video is to bring you some tips from an insider on how to potentially save money and even enhance your coverage. And by commercial property insurance, I'm talking about the hard goods, inventory, contents, and even the four walls and roof of wherever your business may be located. There's a big difference between the building cost to insure and the personal property or contents cost. And this is where we find a lot of people overpaying for their insurance. Business contents or business personal property refers to those items that are not permanently installed and typically can easily be carried away by a thief. This would be your computers, laptops, copy machines, even your small desk and furniture that's not built in. Business property insurance refers to the four walls, the flooring, the ceiling, anything permanently installed, including equipment. For example, oftentimes we go into a printing operation and they'll have a 20-foot long printing press that's bolted to the floor, hardwired to the building, and may even have water and drainage capabilities. And yet we see that often insured as contents. Well, there's no way a thief could come in and pick up that 10,000-pound printing press and carry it out in his pocket. So therefore, you should not be paying 3, 4, 5, 6 times higher for the insurance as contents as opposed to building. So check your policy, go over it carefully with your agent, and evaluate whether or not what you're insuring as contents may truly be business property rather than business personal property. The next thing you want to think about are your deductibles. Very often we see people who have $1,000 all other peril, meaning not for windstorm deductible, but they're paying sometimes $2,000, $3,000 a year extra to insure that $1,500, so that they would have to have 1 or 2 or sometimes 3 claims a year to justify paying the premium for that lower deductible. So when you get your next insurance proposal, be sure and ask your agent for a quote with a series of deductible options. And you may find that you can save a fortune, thousands of dollars a year, by self-insuring a very small portion of that. The third thing I want to give you an insider tip on is business interruption insurance. Most people know about business interruption. Not everyone has it. But business interruption basically reimburses you for your covered overhead, ongoing expenses, interest expenses, association membership fees, payroll, while you are out of business due to a peril that is covered, meaning there was a loss to your building for which they pay a claim. Then, typically after 72 hours, you will be paid for the business interruption portion of your loss. However, remember that while the business interruption may pay you or repay you for your ongoing overhead and lost profit, it typically will not pay you for the extra expense that you may incur unless you have purchased that specific extra expense coverage. Extra expense coverage would be, suppose you had to move it to temporary headquarters while you're still making mortgage payments on your building. Well, the extra expense would cover the extra rent, the extra phone system, the extra computer system, all the costs over and above what you would normally pay to operate. And so therefore you would have coverage for that. The last thing I want to mention is what we call contingent off-premises business interruption liability protection. Very often we see cases where a business is out of business after a hurricane, not because they were damaged, but because power lines went down 6 blocks away. That is not a cause for you to collect under your business interruption insurance since there was no damage to your building. So if you are potentially in that situation, and especially if you have refrigerated perishable goods, then you need to purchase off-premises contingent business interruption insurance. If you have any questions at all, I am always available for a complimentary No pressure, no obligation consultation, either over the phone or in your office. My phone number is 954-332-1900. That's a direct line, 954-332-1900.